Welcome.
We need to return to the church.
If you aren't ready to leave, you'll have to exit through the back of my house.
So which door?
It's a simple choice, but it should not be made simply. Belief or disbelief.
What happens if we choose the wrong door?
Squirrel!
Last Saturday night, myself and my wife went to see Heretic, the new horror thriller written and directed by Scott Beck and Byron Woods, and starring Hugh Grant. So, what did I think? When Mormon missionaries, Sister Barnes, played by Sophie Thatcher, and Sister Paxton, played by Chloe East, called to the home of Mr. Reed, played by Hugh Grant, they discover Mr. Reed is not who he claims to be, and realise they have become pawns in Mr. Reed's game, a game designed not only to question their faith, but also their sanity, and if they fail, it will cost them their lives. Have you ever found yourself at a family gathering where at first you enjoy yourself? After all, you haven't seen everyone in a long time. But by the end of the night, you find yourself desperately looking at your watch as that cousin of yours who works in insurance, you haven't seen him in 20 years, now slightly the worse for wear from drink, prattles on about how they have uncovered the answer to life, the universe, and everything, leaving you to wonder how to make your excuses and leave. Well, sadly, this is what Heretic feels like, which is a real shame when you consider how much about this film there is to like. Collectively, the cast do not put a foot wrong. Sophie Thatcher and Chloe East as sisters Barnes and Paxton are two actresses at the top of their game. They captivate us with their portrayal of devotion and hopeless optimism that two missionaries would have. From the opening moments as they awkwardly discuss watching a porn movie, Thatcher's Barnes, through simple glances and gestures, gives the impression of someone far more worldly than they are meant to be. While East plays Paxton with such a gentle naivete, when she is publicly humiliated by a group of teens for a TikTok video, you almost feel a genuine anger for her. One of the biggest surprises is an unrecognizable Topher Grace as a church elder who goes looking for the missing women. But the film truly belongs to Hugh Grant as Mr. Reed. Grant, once the foppish leading man of the late 90s, has, as he has aged, turned into a character actor not afraid of playing the cad like a 21st century Terry Thomas. Hello. In roles such as Phoenix Buchanan in Paddington 2 and playing real-life politician Jeremy Thorpe in A Very English Scandal, a performance that won him the Emmy. But those characters, although cads, had at least some humanity. Here, his Mr. Reed, no one in this story revealed their first names, appears on the surface affable, friendly, harmless. But beneath this veneer of charm, there are layers of depravity, evil, a mind hinted at in dialogue, warped and cracked in his research as a university professor into the religions of the world. Reed uses his supposed revelations and intelligence as an excuse for his depraved actions. And one has to admit, co-writer-directors Beck and Woods, perhaps best known for co-writing A Quiet Place and last year's 65 with Adam Driver, do a fantastic job in building up the tension on screen. You find yourself willing sisters Barnes and Paxton to get out before it's too late. Get out! Get out of there! With an atmosphere that feels reminiscent of films like Alfred Hitchcock's Rope. The sense of unease is aided in no small part by the cinematography of Chung Chung-hoon. Starting with the bare, bleak beauty of Vancouver in widescreen, where Heretic was shot, the image appears to narrow, become tighter as the story proceeds. First, in the bare, stylized interior of Mr. Reed's home, to the cramped claustrophobia of the bleak darkness of the tunnels beneath. One particular choice that stands out is to film the actors in extreme close-up, to show every line, every hair on their face, as they question the reality and experience the terror happening around them. A far cry from the technicolor glory of Hoon's last work, Wonka. So, I can hear you ask, what's the problem? Well, it's this. Heretic is like that drunken cousin, assuming it's far more profound in what it spouts than it really is. And in all the cat and mouse games the writers put on screen, they become distracted.
Under no circumstances are you permitted to. Squirrel!
They forget their own internal logic. With a reveal with about 20 minutes to go that will have you screaming at the screen, but that makes no sense, as you realize this film got very silly very fast.
Order. Order. Order.
A film with a brilliant little psychological premise, with superb acting, which unfortunately is the perfect example of how you can sink any film with a poorly written final act. And with this one, you can feel the moment that the screenwriters while typing just gave up and thought, that'll do. Which is a real shame when you consider Grant's tour de force performance as a real rotter. Heretic is in cinemas now, but be prepared for a lazy and lackluster ending. I won't say avoid, but I would advise save your money for something worthwhile. I say, don't bother.
Please, sir, I want some more. More? All right, stop it. Stop it right there. Go on, fill up the bowl.
And if you liked this episode of So What Did I Think and you want to see more, please click like and subscribe. Remember, always subscribe. Thanks for watching.